positive. The negative collaboration.
He goes in the wrong one. Back here at Nat Holman Gymnasium as we get set for the second semifinal matchup between the Brooklyn College Bulldogs and the CSI Dolphins. The winner will face Baruch for the CUNY Championship on Friday night. And hello again, everybody. I'm John Perez. In a league that always featured a bigger fish, these two programs have certainly been at the forefront of that, and it showed on Saturday afternoon. First, for the number 2 seed Brooklyn Bulldogs, Brooklyn won in a laugher against York on Saturday afternoon, 68-54, behind double-doubles from Megan Campbell and Vanessa D'Ambrosi. For CSI, they didn't make it easy on themselves by missing 21 open layups, but they still cruised against John Jay for a 10-point, 65-55 win on Staten Island. CUNY Rookie of the Week Christina Passaturo paced the Dolphins with 15 points and 7 rebounds. We're almost set to go. Let's give you the starting lineups first for the number 3 seed CSI Dolphins. Rookie of the Year Christina Passaturo, Alyssa Carlson, and Victoria Gallinaro are up top. And in the backcourt, Nikki Fabazi and Victoria Crea. And now for the number 2 seed Brooklyn Bulldogs, Asia Foster, Megan Campbell, and Vanessa D'Ambrosi are up top. And behind them are Chrissy Heyer and Nicole Francomano. Today's officials are Scott Berkins, Leslie Portion, and Luis Torres. Brooklyn swept the 2 regular season meetings between the two clubs, but both coaches agreed it's a tall order to beat a team 3 times in one season. We'll be right back for the start of this matchup between 2 and 3 season. Here from Nat Holman Gymnasium, you're watching on CUNYathletics.tv.
No one ever won a race because it was their turn. And guzzling the right sports drink never won all 3 sets. You can't talk your way through a tournament, and luck doesn't last. Real champions know that it takes more to do more, because wanting it just isn't good enough. You've got to be smarter, faster, tougher. After all, if championships were easy, everybody would have one. City University of New York Athletic Conference. Learn, play, succeed. No one ever won a race because it was their turn. And guzzling the right sports drink never won all 3 sets. You can't talk your way through a tournament, and luck doesn't last. Real champions know that it takes more to do more, because wanting it just isn't good enough.
For 49 years, the CUNY Athletic Conference has hosted an All-Star Awards luncheon held at the Water Club in Manhattan. Sponsored by Con Edison, the event honors the league's award winners ahead of their community college and 4-year college championship basketball tournament.
Being my last year, I haven't won a college championship yet, so this year I think it's going to be the year we're going to try to do it. It's only one team really standing in our way, and they beat us twice already, but you know it's hard to beat a team 3 times, so hopefully in the championship we'll knock them out.
Melody, so did you go into today expecting to win Player of the Year? I mean, how about from an individual sense first, what that means to you in terms of your career, what you accomplished this season?
It means a lot. I mean, I worked really hard this year with my team. It really could have gone to anyone, really.
What are some of the things that you think you credit to having as great of a season as you've had this season?
I really tried to get more leadership in my team. I really tried to push them along and just try my best out there.
First of all, I want to thank my fellow coaches. This is a wonderful honor, and thank all of you. I really, really appreciate this. You don't go in thinking about this when any of these people who might have gotten it, they all deserve it. We all know what we go through as coaches. It's not just about what you see at games, it's the practices, it's behind the scenes, what we all go through, worried about the kids academically, worried about their personal lives and things. But in a nutshell, though, yeah, it's a great, great experience. I'm on cloud 9 right now because I really walked in here today not expecting this. So it's a wonderful thing.
For 49 years, the CUNY Athletic Conference has hosted an All-Star Awards luncheon held at the Water Club.
There you see the number 2 seed Brooklyn College Bulldogs as they get set to go. They'll take on the number 3 seed CSI Dolphins. John Perez with Kevin Rockman and Kevin. This is a matchup between 2 evenly matched teams. How do you see these two playing out?
I haven't seen much I've seen Brooklyn. I don't know. Brooklyn's size might have an impact on this game.
And they've certainly got size on their side, with Megan Campbell, of course, being the tallest player on the court, of course, named the January Student Athlete of the Month, and she pretty much shoulders a lot of that too. But head coach Alex Lang for Brooklyn said that this team is as balanced as he's seen it in quite a while. You've got an assist leader in Nicole Francomano. Megan Campbell defends really well down low, and Tim Shanahan on the Staten Island side says that it's very tough to beat a team 3 times. Of course, Brooklyn winning the first 2 times, and they'll look for win number 3. The winner will play Baruch. We're 40 minutes away from a championship matchup between Baruch and whoever wins Brooklyn and CSI. Brooklyn wins the tip. We'll get a jump ball with the possession arrow pointing towards CSI. CSI in the road grays with the blue trim. Brooklyn in the home whites with the maroon and gold trim as well. On the right side is Carlson, holds the ball overhead, gives it to Fabazi. Now to Crea. Crea, the 3-sport athlete, plays on the cross-country team and the swimming team. Here's Fabazi for 3, can't connect, and Higher comes down with the rebound. Brooklyn looks to run. So here's Francomano at the top of the key, scanning the defense as they go into his zone. D'Ambrosi to Francomano. Skip pass back to D'Ambrosi. 15 to shoot. Up top is Francomano. Looks to her left now. Goes there. Here's Higher. Standing only at 5 feet tall, but head coach Alex Lang says that she plays a lot taller than that, but she'll commit the first turnover. No score.
Good try. Good try.
We've played about 45 seconds here. Still looking for the first score of tonight's matchup. Here's Fabazi. Fabazi on Campbell. Frees up Gallinaro in the corner for 3. Can't connect. And here's D'Ambrosi over to Francomano. Nicole Francomano, the leader in assists this year at 6 a game. She goes into the corner to Higher. Touch pass right wing 3 for D'Ambrosi. Good. D'Ambrosi, the 5'8 senior from Bishop Ford, and we'll get an offensive foul the other way. And there's the smallest person on the court, Chrissy Higher, making a major impact. That foul's going to go to Victoria Crea. That's going to be her first. The team's first. D'Ambrosi from downtown, shooting 35%. She's 5th in the conference. Up top is Francomano. Back to D'Ambrosi, and she stepped out of bounds. Back and forth face thus far.
Staten Island look like they got a nice zone here.
Here comes Crea into the front court, over to the left side to Gallinaro. She's guarded by Higher, and we'll get a whistle. And that foul's going to go on Chrissy Higher. Our first team's first.
That's a first.
And the CUNY Rookie of the Year, Christina Pasaturo, will throw it in. Looks to her left, now goes up top to Carlson. Nice touch pass to Gallinaro, frees up for Bazzi. Up top, foot on the line, but that's going to be a 3 anyway for Carlson. She can't connect, and Brooklyn looks to run. Here's Higher. Stops her dribble, over to Francomano. Francomano moving over to left side to Higher. Pumps on a 3, gives to Francomano, 18 to shoot. Back to Higher, left wing in the corner is Campbell. About 10 feet away, and it's good. The January Scholar Athlete of the Month, Megan Campbell. Deceptive shooter. She's good for her size, 47% at 2nd in the conference, and it gives Brooklyn a 5-0 lead. For 3 the other way is Pasaturo. She can't get it to go, and D'Ambrosi looks to run. These are two schools that really love to run, going from north to south. Here's Higher in the corner for 3, cash. Chrissy Higher can stroke it from downtown, 37%. She didn't get a lot of starts during the season, but she started on Saturday and had 4 points. Struggled a little bit, went 1 of 7. As Carlson misses on the other end. Francomano pushes to the right corner. It goes over the head of D'Ambrosi. Seems within reach, but nonetheless hits off her fingertips and goes out of bounds. So we've seen a lot of fast pace thus far, Kevin, and Brooklyn's been taking the most advantage of it as they lead 8-0.
Yeah, Brooklyn seems to have an inside-outside game.
On the right side is Passaturo. She's guarded by D'Ambrosi. Bounces it up top to Fabazi. Fabazi and Campbell eye each other. Gives it to Cray. In the corner now is Gallinaro, but we're going to get another charge in there. Is Chrissy Hire again.
Foul charge to number 14.
And that foul's going to go to Victoria Cray, and that's huge considering that that's going to be her second foul. She might have to sit for a while with Megan Meyer coming in.
Meyer checks in for the Dolphins. She replaces number 14, Victoria Gray.
Brooklyn 8, CSI zip. 16:40 to go in the first half. Campbell and Fabazi. It's Campbell and Fabazi going to the deck, and we'll get a foul call. And that will go on Fabazi.
Dolphins foul charge number 23, Nikki Rossi. That's her first. Team's third.
That'll be the team's third, with Creya having the other two, and they'll throw it into Campbell up top with a fresh 30. Campbell will give it to Frank Camano. Driving right side of the paint, gets swarmed, puts up a shot, high off the glass, but it won't go, and Carlson rips down the rebound. CSI looking for some sort of offense. Gallinaro back out to Fabazi on the right wing, trying to drive in, left corner. Meyer for three, off the mark, and hits the back iron. Rolls towards the scorer's table, last touched by CSI, and it'll be Brooklyn ball. They'll throw it into D'Ambrosi, going from left to right. She's on the left wing. Give it up to Hire. With 24 to shoot, fumbles it a little bit, but keeps her dribble. 20 to shoot. Hire bounces it to the low right block to Campbell. Turnaround jumper, good, and she's 2 of 2.
Whoa.
Megan Campbell with 4 points. She averages just around 14.5 points a game. That's 5th in the conference. On the right wing is Passaturo for 3, off the mark. She wanted a call on that. She got a little bit of contact, but Frank Camano races into the front court. Throws it to Hire. 10-foot jumper from the side. In and out. Campbell cleans up the mess. And Tim Shanahan's going to have to call a timeout with his team out to an early 12-0 run. And what have you seen so far, Kev?
What I've seen is that Brooklyn has a good inside-outside game. Seems like Staten Island, when they got down 6-8, they started pressing and just throwing up threes. What Staten Island has to do is they have to just stay within their game, even though they're down. They seem to want to kind of panic and force threes. I think if Staten Island plays a little more organized and tightens up their zone a little bit, they can stay in the game, even though they're down 12-0.
Now, head coach Tim Shanahan said that his team likes to live and die by the three. But if you're CSI, how much longer can you live with that, knowing that you're already down 12?
Well, they're already dying by the three. So they're going to have to find another way to live right now, because they're probably a good three-point shooting team, but they're rushing their shots because they're looking at that score and they see that goose egg up there and they're kind of panicking. So if that is their game, they have to settle down. They definitely will not out-rebound this team.
So 15:33 to go. As we said, Brooklyn out to a 12-0 run. They're pitching a shutout thus far in the first 4.5 minutes. Brooklyn keeps all its starters on the floor. Megan Meyer, Alyssa Carlson, Nikki Fabazi, Victoria Gallinaro, and Christina Passaturo on the floor for the Dolphins. Here's Carlson on the right wing. Puts it behind her back, goes up top to Fabazi, over to the left wing to Gallinaro. She's guarded by Hire. Gets a screen as she moves right, driving in, right side of the paint. High off the glass, won't go. And Campbell comes down with it, and that's been the struggles of CSI thus far. They just can't buy a bucket. Campbell into the front court. D'Ambrosi for 3, good. That's her second 3. We've already mentioned that she's 5th in the conference at three-point percentage, and she had 17 and 5 against York the other way. There she is with the steal, trying to go coast to coast. And Fabazi seemed to have gotten all ball on that, but a roll out of bounds, and they'll call the foul on her. And for Fabazi, that's going to be her second, and the team's 4th. And Brooklyn can pretty much do no wrong.
CSI just got to get that first bucket.
At least from a confidence standpoint, as the first free throw is good.
Exactly.
The Samantha Athletic checks in for the
Sarah Shanderson will check in for the Bulldogs. Samantha Flecker will check in for CSI. D'Ambrosi has made her first 2 free throws and her first 2 threes. She now has 8. In the corner is Flecker. She's guarded by Campbell. Flecker picks up her dribble. Thought she had Gallinaro. 18 to shoot. And we'll get a whistle. And that foul's going to go on Nasirima Mann. And for Brooklyn, that's going to be the team's second. Mann's first. Meyer to throw it in over to Flecker. Flecker with 30 to shoot. Scanning the defense. Nobody down low for CSI. Flecker over to the right side to Carlson. Carlson on the right wing. Picks up her dribble, goes up. No, but a foul. And we'll see if they call that in the act of shooting or just on the floor.
Foul charge to number 3, Nasirima Mann. That's her
But that foul will go to Mann, and she's picked up 2 fouls in a span of 20 seconds. And that'll bring Carlson to the line.
Let's see what happens if she makes these 2. Well, that's settled them down.
Well, with her team already down 17, the first free throw is up, and it's good. And Staten Island's on the board.
Asia Foster returns for the Bulldogs.
Couple of dribbles for Flecker. And she goes 1 of 2 at the line. Shanderson controls. Here's Francomano. Francomano on the right wing. Francomano guarded by Gallinaro. Gives over to Shanderson with 12 to shoot. Shanderson down low to Foster, and we'll get a whistle.
That's that inside out.
Foul charge to number 31, Samantha Flecker.
So that foul's going to go to Flecker. That's her first, team's 5th. And Shanderson's got to burn a timeout, almost trying to avoid that 5-second violation.
Dolphins foul charge to number 24, Megan Meyer. That's her
So that
first.
foul's going to go to Megan Meyer.
6.
And I guess they didn't give Shanderson that, and they pick up a foul with it. So they'll throw it into Foster. Turnaround shot won't go. Foster's able to clean it up.
Asia Foster.
Foster with her first 2, the 6-foot senior out of Brooklyn Collegiate. As Meyer misses, Francomano controls. Gives over to Shanderson. Shanderson a couple dribbles over to Campbell. Pull up from the free throw line off the mark. Campbell with the offensive rebound, and we'll get a whistle. Melissa Carlson just saying it should be a jump ball. But she's not going to get that.
CSI cannot give up second shots.
Karen Mack, number 5, checks in for the Bulldogs. Foul charge number 2, Christina Pasaturo. That's her first.
That foul's going to go to Pasaturo, her first. CSI's at the limit. Asia Foster, a 63% free throw shooter. And the first free throw is good. 20-1 is the score. It's been all Bulldogs. Second free throw is off the mark. And Gallinaro into the front court. Over to the right corner to Meyer. Right wing to Carlson. Sets her feet. Can't connect on the 3. Gallinaro fighting for it with Mack, and we'll get a held ball with possession pointing towards Brooklyn. Boy, CSI can't buy a break thus far.
Going to Brooklyn College.
CSI applying the full court press. Trying to do anything that they can. Try to rush Brooklyn. Trying to force them to give it away. Anything. Here's Mack in the left corner. Mack gives it over to Campbell. That pass was tipped. Campbell still picks it up with 18 to shoot. Gives it to Francomano. Floating shot. Doesn't roll in. Campbell, second chance shot off the mark. Campbell collects it again, goes up with it, and we'll get a held ball with possession pointing for CSI. And Chrissy Heyer will check back in for the Bulldogs.
Chrissy Heyer returns for the Bulldogs.
The CSI is going to be a three-point shooting team. They certainly can't give up second and third rebound opportunities for Brooklyn.
Brooklyn first in the conference in offensive rebounds, and you can see it there at 18.8. Carlson for three, and she knocks it down. Alyssa Carlson got off to a hot start against John Jay, scoring 7 of the first 13 points. And CSI will need her to heat up, down 16. With 12:47 in the first half, Brooklyn leads 20-4 on CUNYathletics.tv. In what is becoming a formality for the Baruch Bearcats, the school from Midtown is looking for its 7th consecutive title against the Hunter Hawks in the 2013-2014 CUNY Women's Basketball Championships. The Bearcats and Hawks both traded baskets for rebounds and blocks, getting off to a slow start on the offensive end as Baruch led by 3 at the half. The second half was all Baruch as Frances Henry knocked down a couple of big threes to start the rout and give Baruch a 20-point. 12:45 to go. Brooklyn out to a huge lead. Not sure if CSI got the invitation, but it's been a huge race thus far, and CSI still at the starting gate. 20-4 is your score. As Chrissy Heyer controls on the left wing, and we'll get a whistle. And we'll get an offensive foul to Megan Campbell, excuse me, for Brooklyn. That's going to be her first, the team's 4th. CSI will have possession going from right to left. Bounce it over to Carlson. Carlson to the right corner to Flecker. Fakes about going outside, but gives it up top to Carlson. Carlson's got the only three-pointer and the only field goal for CSI thus far. Here's Meyer over to Flecker. Back out to Passaturo. Passaturo to Gallinaro. And she's going to get called for steps. And we'll get a couple of substitutions. Gabby Elaine and Vanessa D'Ambrosi will check in for the Bulldogs. Campbell and Mack will sit.
Number 24, Vanessa D'Ambrosi.
So D'Ambrosi to throw it in. CSI still applying that full court press, and they'll throw it into Heyer. Heyer over to Frank Camano. Down low, Elaine can't get it to go. Offensive putback from Foster, and that's off the mark. CSI gets a stop. Let's see if they can get the conversion. They'll feed it down low. And driving in good in the foul is Christina Passaturo. She'll go to the line.
Victoria Gallinaro. Foul charge to number 2, Chrissy Heyer. That's her
So that foul's going to go to Chrissy Heyer. That's going to be her second, the team's 5th.
Gallinaro will go to the line, 1 shot. Karen Mack, number 5, re-enters the game for Brooklyn College.
Yeah. All right, so Gallinaro to the line. First free throw is up, and it's good. So for Gallinaro, the 68% free throw shooter cuts the lead to 13. Here's Karen Mack. Throws it over to Foster. She's got to track it down on the right wing. She'll give it up top to Frank Camano. Frank Camano from the left wing feeds it down low to Elaine. Her shot gets blocked from behind by Carlson, and CSI controls. A little momentum for the Dolphins. Let's see if they can convert. Nice touch pass down low, but he gets broken up by Elaine. So CSI will have to earn the bucket the hard way. Meyer trying to throw it in. It skips off the shoes of Passaturo. Trying to feed the cutting Carlson, but she turns it over. Here comes Mack. Mack trying to go coast to coast. High shot off the glass, won't go. Here's Frank Camano. Over to the left wing to Elaine. Elaine to Mack. Mack up top to D'Ambrosi, 19 to shoot. D'Ambrosi trying to drive right side of the lane, high off the glass, won't go. And here comes CSI. CSI before the intermission resumed He was 1 of 11 from the floor. Obviously, have gotten 3 points from the charity stripe and from downtown as well. We got a foul, and we got a couple of substitutions. So on the court for Brooklyn, Megan Campbell, Jacqueline Grosso, Karen Mack, Vanessa D'Ambrosi, and Gabby Lane. And we'll get a foul, and that's going to go to Nikki Fabazi, I believe. No, it's going to go to Karen Mack. Mack and Fabazi were standing right next to each other. So for Mack, that's going to be her second, the team's 7th.
Fabazi will go to the line for CSI.
So Nikki Fabazi, 60% free throw shooter, and she makes the first one. Fabazi was the Rookie of the Year 3 years ago. She's a huge presence down low at 6 points. But struggled from the floor, 2 of 12 against John Jay before fouling out. Did have 9 rebounds.
Make this foul shot a couple more buckets, they can climb back into this game.
And they'll do just that, down 11. Here's Jacqueline Grosso. Over to the right side to Shanderson. Shanderson over to D'Ambrosi. Nice driving shot, and she gets it to go. D'Ambrosi now with 10. Here's Fabazi trying to spark some sort of offense. She'll go inside, and she'll get fouled.
Brooklyn foul touch on 22, Megan Campbell, that's her second. Team's 8. Nikki Fabazi is over the line and shoots it.
Fabazi's first free throw is up, and it's good.
Asia Foster returns for the Bulldogs.
Asia Foster will check back in for Megan Campbell. That foul was on Campbell. That's her second, and she's going to have to sit for a while. And we'll get a substitution as Victoria Gallinaro will check in.
Returning for CSI is number 15, Victoria Gallinaro.
D'Ambrosi looking to throw it in, and we'll get a timeout called by Alex Lang, and we'll step aside with 10:08 to go. Brooklyn leads 22-11 on CUNYathletics.tv.
Brooklyn calls a...
Sponsored by Con Edison, the event honors the league's award winners ahead of their community college and four-year college championship basketball tournament.
Being my last year, I haven't won a college championship yet, so this year I think it's going to be the year we're going to try to do it. It's only one team really standing in our way, and they beat us twice already, but you know it's hard to beat a team 3 times, so hopefully in the championship we'll knock them out.
Melanie, so did you go into today expecting to win?
.10:08 to go. Brooklyn leading 22-11. They were once out to a 20-1 lead. And then, of course, CSI goes on the 10-1 run. I'm here with Baruch head coach Kellyanne Barrett. And, Kelly, we got to stop meeting this way. It seems as if we're speaking to each other a lot over the past couple of nights. But congratulations on the win. It's obviously a win that you guys expected. Wasn't easy at first, and then you guys pulled away from Hunter. What, as a coach now, lessons did you learn from that game, and now watching CSI in Brooklyn, knowing that you're going to have to play to one of these teams, you know, you're going to have to implement whatever adjustments?
Yeah, I think that you can't take anybody for granted, and you got to bring your A game at every point. We have the bullseye on our back, so every night anybody who plays us is going to play their best basketball. So we need to play our best every single night, that means.
As a coach, it's very easy sometimes to have your players think Final Four, think championships right there, but you kind of want them to concentrate on the next game. And going into Friday, as D'Ambrosi fires from three, boy, she can hit it from down there, can't she?
She can. You can't leave her open.
For D'Ambrosi, that's her third three. She's now got, let me get this right, 9, 2, 4. That is 13 as Gabby Elaine and Fabazi are going to fight for it. It's going to be a tie-up with possession pointing for Brooklyn. But how do you avoid, as a coach, a letdown, at least first half for your team against whoever wins?
I hold everyone to a high expectation and a high level, and we're a deep team. So if someone is not performing to their potential, or if they're just, maybe it's not their night, I have somebody else that I can throw in there, and it will be their night.
Now I'm kind of going to ask you to dissect both teams. You don't know who you're going to play yet, even though Brooklyn leads by 14. Still a lot of time as D'Ambrosi down low. Oh, man, the roof would have came down for her, but man's going to get called for steps on that. What have you seen out of Brooklyn that's impressed you this year?
Their tempo, even especially tonight, they've been getting up and down the floor, and they play well as a team. And the kids, they each have their own, what they're good at, and they do it well. They don't try to do a couple of things. Everybody has one thing that they do or two things that they do well, and they do it well. So they're tough.
Now you got CSI, Jamie Papalo for three, doesn't get the shooter's roll. CSI started the game 1 of 11. They're now 1 of 11 from downtown. Those 1 of 11 before, of course, were the field goals too. But CSI kind of lives and dies by the three. Is that something that you prepare for too? Do you try to make them, force them inside, or do you know that they can struggle like this? You just let them take their shots.
You don't want to ever go with that, because if they start getting hot, then there's no way you can stop it. You want to make them drivers, and you want to play them good defense, push them off the three-point line. But they're gritty. They play tough, whatever five are out there, and they're going to push the ball off the tempo. So they play at a fast pace.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for the time. You're 40 minutes away from the 8th straight championship, and good luck on Friday.
Thank you.
All right, that's Kellyanne Barrett. CSI with its 8th foul. And that'll bring Jacqueline Grosso to the line. Grosso, a couple of dribbles. Her brother Nicholas plays on the men's team as she misses the free throw. Here comes Crea, trying to grab some separation as Frank Camano falls down, and on the right side is Passaturo. Passaturo, floating shot, they need it, but they won't get it as it hits off the back iron, and Brooklyn controls, going from left to right. Here's Frank Camano trying to feed it to man. Little transition from Brooklyn, but they don't get the shot and they don't get the bucket, and it'll be CSI basketball. So Victoria Crea brings the ball into the front court, going from right to left. She'll give it over to Gallinaro, and up top to Passaturo. Left side for Bazzi, 20 to shoot, feeds a cutting Gallinaro, and they get the layup to go. Gallinaro with her first field goal. She's got 3. It's a 14-point game, and CSI needs some stops. Brooklyn, remember, swept the season series. They won by double digits in their first matchup, and in the second matchup, it was only an 8-point loss, a loss that Tim Shanahan, the head coach of CSI, said was a lot closer than what the final result was. Here's Frank Camano straight away from 3, cash. Nicole Francomano, only a 13% three-point shooter from downtown, but she was able to knock that one down and extend the lead to 16 with 6:45 to go. Here's Crea, little spin move. Feeds it out to Meyer, left corner 3 off the mark. And we'll get a foul call from behind. It'll probably be Gallinaro on the push. That call is official now, and that'll be the first foul for Gallinaro. And that'll be the team's 9th. So it'll bring Jacqueline Grosso to the line. Gabby Elaine will check back in for Brooklyn. Couple of dribbles for Grosso. She makes the first one. It's a 17-point lead in what has been all Brooklyn thus far. Sarah Shanderson will also check in for Asia Foster. Asia Foster to sit. So Alex Lang, a couple of second teamers in there now, and let's see. You do have Megan Campbell with 2 fouls on the bench. As Grosso knocks down the second one. Now we'll get a whistle. Well, of course, Megan Campbell with 2 fouls. She'll have to sit for quite a while. But let's see what Alex Lang does. Maybe the final 3 or 4 minutes, he'll sit his starters, kind of relax them going into the second half if he does have a huge lead. In the corner is Meyer trying to feed it to Gallinaro. He gets poked at by Grosso. And over to the left side is Passaturo for 3. Book it. That's Christina Passaturo's first 3. She's a 38% three-point shooter from downtown. She logged 15 points and 7 rebounds against John Jay on Saturday in 33 minutes. 19 to shoot. On the left wing is Nicole Francomano with her team up 31-16. Little spin move. Kicks it out to Shanderson. Tries to drive baseline, but she travels. The car started before she put it in drive. Here's Victoria Crea. Moving it over to the left wing to Meyer. 5:44 to go. Right wing pass to Gallinaro. Now to Crea. Lefty layup. That won't go. Ball still loose. Shanderson controls. Brooklyn having a tough go of it. Here's Francomano. Stops on a dime and connects from the free throw line. Francomano's now got 5. 17-point lead. Left wing pass to Passaturo. She'll try from 3 again. A lot of contact, and that might have altered her shot as she has gone ice cold from downtown, just like the rest of the team. They try to stuff it inside, and that gets broken up by Fabazi, and it'll stay with Brooklyn with 24 to shoot as Asia Foster checks back in. Chrissy Heyer will also check in. So Grosso and Anderson to sit. Heyer looks to throw it in, feeds it down to the low right block to Foster, hits off her fingertips as she gets pushed from behind. It'll roll out of bounds, and it will stay with Brooklyn. That ball was poked at by Fabazi. On the right wing is Francomano. She checks the far shot clock to see how much time she has, and it reads 15. With 5 minutes to go, Brooklyn leads 33-16. Here's Francomano on the low right block. Gets cut off by Gallinaro. Free up D'Ambrosi. Left wing 3 off the mark to the right. And here comes CSI. Gallinaro to the right corner to Meyer. Back to Gallinaro. Spots up from 3. Off the mark again. And boy, things are getting really tough for CSI. D'Ambrosi, left wing 3, no good. Passataro yo-yos into the front court. Runner from the right side, and we'll get a whistle. And I believe that'll be another charge drawn for Chrissy Heyer. So that foul will go to Passataro. That's going to be her second, and this is a big predicament for Tim Shanahan because Chrissy Passaturo now has 2 fouls, but she's arguably the team's best player, and they're down a huge deficit, and they can't afford to go down by any more. And Alyssa Carlson will come in for Meyer. D'Ambrosi looking to throw it in. She'll give it to Francomano. Francomano going from left to right. She's at that stamp. The city's game, at least for the women's portion, turns 35 this year. And Alex Lang will have to call a timeout with 4:13 to go, and Brooklyn College leading 33-16 on CUNYathletics.tv. 4:13 to go, 33-16 is your score, with Brooklyn just dominating so far. CSI has come back a little bit, but it hasn't been enough. Here's Francomano on the left wing. She's guarded by Gallinaro. Nicole Francomano, Vanessa D'Ambrosi, Gabby Elaine, Asia Foster, and Chrissy Heyer on the court for the Bulldogs. And we'll get a foul down low. Now let's see who they call it on. Should be on Fabazi. So for Fabazi, that would actually be her third. And the team's 10th. Francomano's first free throw is good. Yep, and it is on Fabazi. It's official. So Francomano now at 6. Couple of dribbles. Francomano in and out. And she goes 1 of 2 at the line. Here's Crea. Crea looking to drive from the low left block. Frees up Pasaturo from 3 on the left wing. No. Collects her own miss. And she'll reset with a fresh shot clock. Pasaturo looks back to Shanahan. Tells his team, go wide, go wide. And they go wide to Gallinaro. Good ball movement. Pasaturo now on the right wing. They swing it over to Gallinaro. Goes up top to Pasaturo on the right wing. Pasaturo driving in, floating shot, doesn't get the roll, and Foster comes down with it. Here's Francomano going from left to right. She's guarded by Crea. Over to the left side to Elaine. Elaine to D'Ambrosi. D'Ambrosi, a couple of dribbles, looking to penetrate. That pass gets blocked by Pasaturo. It'll roll out of bounds. It'll stay with Brooklyn with 5 to shoot. Nasarima Mann will check back in for Brooklyn. Chrissy Hired finds a nice cutting D'Ambrosi who can't finish. Boy, she was wide open on that. Had a double screen. Was able to free up the layup and just couldn't get it to roll. Here's Carlson looking to drive inside. Lefty layup, good. Carlson's now got 5. 16-point lead for the Bulldogs. Left wing is Francomano. Now D'Ambrosi, Francomano in the corner. Foot on the line, it's a 2. The offensive rebound goes to Heyer, tries to feed it down low to Foster, and she lays it in. Well, Chrissy Heyer is pretty much everywhere. She gets the offensive rebound and finds it over to Foster, who scores her 4th point and an 18-point lead. Samantha Flecker can't connect from the left elbow, as Chrissy Heyer and Gallinaro get tied up, and the possession arrow favors CSI.
Possession going to Staten Island.
Flecker looking to throw it in, so she'll go to the right corner to Gallinaro. On the right wing is Pasaturo. To the left corner is Flecker. Flecker over to Crea, gets a screen from Carlson. Thought about a 3, gives it Carlson back to Crea. She goes up, and then we'll get a blocking foul. And if you keep attacking Heyer, eventually she's going to get called for a block, but she can draw quite a couple of charges too. So for Heyer, that's going to be her 3rd. The team's 6th. Excuse me, both teams are in the double bonus with 2:01 to go. First free throw is up, is good from Crea.
Makes the cut. She has one shot. Shanderson returns for the Bulldogs.
Sarah Shanderson will check in. Second free throw, good. So she goes 2 of 2 at the line. They almost get the turnover. And Brooklyn will have to inbound. Let's see these final 2 minutes. Does CSI throw the full court press as D'Ambrosi throws it off of Flecker's leg? D'Ambrosi over to Shanderson. Here's Shanderson. Gives it to Francomano. Minute 50 to go in the first half. Over to the right wing is Mann. Mann up top to Foster. Over to the left wing to Francomano. Francomano shovels it up top to D'Ambrosi. 8 to shoot. Driving in on 2 CSI defenders. And we'll get an offensive foul. For D'Ambrosi, that's going to be her first. And that's going to be the team's 10th. Here's Crea going from right to left. Crea over to Passaturo. Passaturo, floating shot, no, but a foul.
Bulldogs foul, her second charge, number 24.
That's going to be the second foul for D'Ambrosi. If you're Alex Lang, you might have to think about sitting her. And Jacqueline Grosso goes to the scorer's table in all likelihood to relieve D'Ambrosi. First free throw is good from Passaturo. Jamie Pafalo comes in for CSI. So Pafalo, Gallinaro, Passaturo, Samantha Flecker, and Alyssa Carlson on the court for the Dolphins. Second free throw from Passaturo is good. Passaturo now with 5. Nicole Francomano, Nasarima Mann, Sarah Shanderson, Asia Foster, and Jacqueline Grosso on the court for the Bulldogs. 75 seconds to go in the first half. On the left wing is Grosso. Grosso bounces it up top to Shanderson. Shanderson gets a screen, moves right. Runner on the right side won't go. Offensive putback. Foster, no, but a foul. And that'll bring Asia to the line.
Foul charge number 11. Carlson, that's her first.
That foul's going to go to Carlson, and that's going to be her first. Foster to shoot 2. Asia Foster at 7 points against York in the quarterfinals on Saturday afternoon, and she connects on the first one. Foster now with 6. Rears back and fires, and can't connect. Bulldogs control. Here comes Carlson going from right to left. 55 seconds to go. Here's Pafalo. High arcing 3, hits nothing, rolls out of bounds. Last touch by CSI, and it'll be Brooklyn basketball. Karen Mack checks in. Mack looking to throw it in. Just evades a 5-second violation as Grosso is getting guarded heavily by Pafalo. Just got over and escapes the violation in the backcourt. Here's Mack on the left wing, 14 to shoot. Right wing to Francomano. Francomano and Flecker lock eyes as Francomano drops it down low to Foster. She can't get the roll, and then they're going to get a whistle. Ball rolls out of bounds, and it'll stay with Brooklyn with 6 to shoot. Alex Lang wants a reset of the shot clock. And now the officials will talk about it. Scott Perkins, Leslie Portion, and Luis Torres all giving a thought. as Leslie Portion goes over towards the scorer's table and says, nope, it's going to stay at 6. Mack will throw it in to Frank Camano. High arcing 3 from the side of the paint. Won't go. And here comes Pasaturo. She throws the outlet over to Carlson, puts it on the deck, and blows the layup. And boy, CSI has been missing all of their they've been missing every shot. There's no way to put it. And that foul should be on Flecker. But let's see, because it was Flecker and Carlson down there. Yep, that's going to go on Flecker. That's going to be her second. Both teams in the double bonus. She misses on the first one. Will Frank Camano in the first half. 5 points thus far. She's got one more remaining. She goes 0-2 at the line. Foster tries to get the offensive rebound as it tips towards the baseline and will roll out of bounds, and CSI can settle for the last shot. Frank Camano, normally a 53% shooter, only 1 of 4 from the line. Carlson in the corner for 3. That won't go. Long rebound. Elaine comes down with it, tries to feed it up top, but she turns it over. Here's Flecker at the horn. That won't go, and that'll do it at the half. 37-22 is your score on CUNYathletics.tv, with Brooklyn leading here at Nat Holman Gymnasium. The word dynasty is sometimes used too often in the sports world, but for the College of Staten Island, a win tonight will cap a three-peat for the Dolphins. However, that will be a tall task as they take on the Cardinals of York College. York got out to a fast start and took a 22-5 lead. The Cardinals were in rhythm and firing on all cylinders as Michael Woods and Omar St. John paced York College to an 18-point advantage. The Dolphins showed why they were the number 18 team in the nation and would fight back to get within 4 at the half. The second half was all nip and tuck as both teams would see lead changes for most of the final period. In the last minute of play, Frankie Schettino put the Dolphins in front with his bucket, but CUNYAC MVP Michael Woods would have an answer for that as he knocked down 2 of his 36 points with the go-ahead jumper. Schettino had the ball in the final ticks, but Michael Woods picked his pocket and gave the Cardinals the CUNYAC championship.
With the team we had, if we could make adjustments as we go forward, we would get to the championship. And my goal is always, like I tell them, I don't figure out, let's not talk about winning the championship. Let's talk about getting there, because if you don't get there, you can't win it. So my goal is always, let's get there. Once we get there, I'll figure out how to win it.
The last play when I actually hit free throws. In my head, I knew if I nailed these 2 free throws and we pressed them, it would be so hard for them to get a half-court three-pointer. I mean, with the 3 free throws, all they could do was tie the game. They still couldn't hurt us, so I just tried all my might to make those 2 free throws.
This title marks the Cardinals' first conference championship since 2007. From CCNY, John Perez, CUNY Athletics.
Player of the year, how about from an individual sense first, what that means to you in terms of your career, what you accomplished this season?
It means a lot. I mean, I worked really hard this year with my team. It really could have gone to anyone, really.
What are some of the things that you think you credit to having as great of a season as you've had this season?
I really tried to get more leadership in my team. I really tried to push them along and just try my best out there.
First of all, I want to thank my fellow coaches. This is a wonderful honor, and thank all of you. I really, really appreciate this. You don't go in thinking about this when any of these people who might have gotten it, they all deserve it. We all know what we go through as coaches. It's not just about what you see at games, it's the practices, it's behind the scenes, what we all go through, worried about the kids academically, worried about their personal lives and things. But in a nutshell, though, yeah, it's a great, great experience. I'm on cloud 9 right now because I really walked in here today not expecting this. So it's a wonderful thing.
For 49 years, the CUNY Athletic Conference has hosted an All-Star Awards luncheon held at the Water Club in Manhattan. Sponsored by Con Edison, The event honors the league's award winners ahead of their community college and four-year college championship basketball tournament.
Being my last year, I haven't won a college championship yet, so this year I think it's going to be the year we're going to try to do it. It's only one team really standing in our way, and they beat us twice already, but you know it's hard to beat a team 3 times, so hopefully in the championship we'll knock them out.
Melanie, so did you go into today expecting to win Player of the Year? I mean, how about from an individual sense first, what that means to you in terms of your career, what you accomplished this season?
It means a lot. I mean, I worked really hard this year with my team. It really could have gone to anyone, really.
What are some of the things that you think you credit to having as great of a season as you've had this season?
I really tried to get more leadership in my team. I really tried to push them along and just try my best out there.
First of all, I want to thank my fellow coaches. This is a wonderful honor, and thank all of you. I really, really appreciate this. You don't go in thinking about this when any of these people who might have gotten it, they all deserve it. We all know what we go through as coaches. It's not just about what you see at games, it's the practices, it's behind the scenes, what we all go through, worried about the kids academically, worried about their personal lives and things. But in a nutshell, though, yeah, it's a great, great experience. I'm on cloud 9 right now because I really walked in here today not expecting this. So it's a wonderful thing.
I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, and I go to school in Manhattan. I play for the John Jay College women's basketball team, and I love my teammates. My coach is always telling me, Spud, you have to communicate more, you have to speak more, be more vocal, be a leader. Because I'm usually shy about a lot of things. I'm not that vocal, but I'm stepping into that role. During this basketball season, I became the first person in John Jay history to achieve the milestone of having both 1,000 points and 1,000 rebounds. Stepping in John Jay, this was never one of my goals or aspirations. I just wanted to win, but to be able to accomplish this at the same time was beyond me. It was just great. The best part about being a student athlete in New York is the commuting. There's so many interesting people and stories on my way. And even though the buses and trains are always crammed, I love it. That's New York. Being a Division III athlete has been great for me because I haven't felt like I had to leave my family behind just to compete at a high level. After I graduate from John Jay, I'd like to go to medical school and become a psychiatrist and eventually one day open a recreational psychiatric center to help young kids and adolescents. I don't feel like everything needs to be solved with medicine. I feel like basketball can help me to help them. My name is Jamesia Forsythe, and this is my D3 experience. I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, and I go to school in Manhattan. I play for the John Jay College women's basketball team, and I love my teammates. My coach is always telling me, Spud, you have to communicate more, you have to speak more, be more vocal, be a leader. Because I'm usually shy about a lot of things. I'm not that vocal, but I'm stepping into that role. During this basketball season, I became the first person in John Jay history to achieve the milestone of having both 1,000 points and 1,000 rebounds. Stepping in John Jay, this was never one of my goals or aspirations. I just wanted to win, but to be able to accomplish this at the same time was beyond me. It was just great. The best part about being a student athlete in New York is the commuting. There's so many interesting people and stories on my way. And even though the buses and trains are always crammed, I love it. That's New York. Being a Division III athlete has been great for me because I haven't felt like I had to leave my family behind just to compete at a high level. After I graduate from John Jay, I'd like to go to medical school and become a psychiatrist and eventually one day open a recreational psychiatric center to help young kids and adolescents. I don't feel like everything needs to be solved with medicine. I feel like basketball can help me to help them. My name is Jamesia Forsythe, and this is my D3 experience. I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, and I go to school in Manhattan. I play for the John Jay College women's basketball team, and I love my teammates. My coach is always telling me, Spud, you have to communicate more, you have to speak more, be more vocal, and be a leader. Because I'm usually shy about a lot of things. I'm not that vocal, but I'm stepping into that role. During this basketball season, I became the first person in John Jay history to achieve the milestone of having both 1,000 points and 1,000 rebounds. Stepping in John Jay, this was never one of my goals or aspirations. I just wanted to win, but to be able to accomplish this at the same time was beyond me. It was just great. The best part about being a student athlete in New York is the commuting. There's so many interesting people and stories on my way. And even though the buses and trains are always crammed, I love it. That's New York. Being a Division III athlete has been great for me because I haven't felt like I had to leave my family behind just to compete at a high level. After I graduate from John Jay, I'd like to go to medical school and become a psychiatrist and eventually one day open a recreational psychiatric center to help young kids and adolescents. I don't feel like everything needs to be solved with medicine. I feel like basketball can help me to help them. My name is Jamesia Forsythe, and this is my D3 experience. I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, and I go to school in Manhattan. I play for the John Jay College women's basketball team, and I love my teammates. My coach is always telling me, Spud, you have to communicate more, you have to speak more, be more vocal, and be a leader. Because I'm usually shy about a lot of things. I'm not that vocal, but I'm stepping into that role. During this basketball season, I became the first person in John Jay history to achieve the milestone of having both 1,000 points and 1,000 rebounds. Stepping in John Jay, this was never one of my goals or aspirations. I just wanted to win, but to be able to accomplish this at the same time was beyond me. It was just great. The best part about being a student athlete in New York is the commuting. There's so many interesting people and stories on my way. And even though the buses and trains are always crammed, I love it. That's New York. Being a Division III athlete has been great for me because I haven't felt like I had to leave my family behind just to compete at a high level. After I graduate from John Jay, I'd like to go to medical school and become a psychiatrist and eventually one day open a recreational psychiatric center to help young kids and adolescents. I don't feel like everything needs to be solved with medicine. I feel like basketball can help me to help them. My name is Jamesia Forsythe, and this is my D3 experience. I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, and I go to school in Manhattan. I play for the John Jay College women's basketball team, and I love my teammates. My coach is always telling me, Spud, you have to communicate more, you have to speak more, be more vocal. Be a leader. Because I'm usually shy about a lot of things. I'm not that vocal, but I'm stepping into that role. During this basketball season, I became the first person in John Jay history to achieve the milestone of having both 1,000 points and 1,000 rebounds. Stepping in John Jay, this was never one of my goals or aspirations. I just wanted to win, but to be able to accomplish this at the same time was beyond me. It was just great. The best part about being a student athlete in New York is the commuting. There's so many interesting people and stories on my way. And even though the buses and trains are always crammed, I love it. That's New York. Being a Division III athlete has been great for me because I haven't felt like I had to leave my family behind just to compete at a high level. After I graduate from John Jay, I'd like to go to medical school and become a psychiatrist and eventually one day open a recreational psychiatric center to help young kids and adolescents. I don't feel like everything needs to be solved with medicine. I feel like basketball can help me to help them. My name is Jamesia Forsythe, and this is my D3 experience.
Alrighty, as we get ready for second half of action here on the campus of CCNY on the corner of West 136th and Convent Avenue, named after Adolph Lewison Plaza. You can see CSI struggled in the first half. 5 of 30 from the floor and 2 of 18 from downtown. They did hit their free throws, only missed 1, 10 of 11. But then you look at Brooklyn in comparison. 13 of 34 from the floor, 4 of 7, and that had a lot to do with Vanessa D'Ambrosi, who went 3 of 5 from on the arc. And at the free throw line, 7 of 13. Megan Campbell had 2 fouls in the first half, so she had to sit for quite a while. Chrissy Heyer, who only stands at a 5-foot frame but plays like a 7-foot player, just getting down low, doing all the dirty work. She drew a couple of charges, but with that said, she also has 3 fouls. So we get set to go. Here in semifinal game number 2, the winner will play Baruch on Friday night at 6 o'clock. Brooklyn will roll out its starters to start the second half, as will CSI. And Vanessa D'Ambrosi to inbound the ball. She looks towards the backcourt, but she'll go up top to Campbell, who says, gimme, gimme, and she gets the ball. Ask and you shall receive. Up top is Frank Camano, guarded by Gallinaro. Moves it over to the right side to D'Ambrosi, holds the ball over her head like Simba. Now shovels it over to the left wing to Heyer. Heyer, left wing pass to Frank Camano with 12 to shoot. Frank Camano and Gallinaro lock eyes as Frank Camano tries to slash inside. Feeds it off down low to Foster, but she travels. Well, Brooklyn had 11 turnovers in the first half. That's their first of this half. Brooklyn averages around 17 turnovers a game. CSI 16.6. Over to the left wing now. And to the right wing is Passaturo. Passaturo bounces it over to Gallinaro. Tries to look inside to Carlson. Turnaround jumper. Doesn't get the roll. As Fabazi and Gallinaro both fight for it, but nobody called off for it. And it'll be Brooklyn basketball, as there was no Brooklyn person within the vicinity. So D'Ambrosi will throw it in. Brooklyn's got to go the length of the floor. She'll give it to Campbell. And then she'll give it to someone who handles the ball a lot better in Frank Camano. Frank Camano guarded by Crea. She moves towards the right wing. Dumps it to the right elbow to Campbell. Over to the left wing to Frank Camano. 12 to shoot. Frank Camano, couple of dribbles. Gives it over to D'Ambrosi from the left elbow. Left wing Frank Camano tries to feed it inside, and she turns it over. That'll be the 13th turnover for Brooklyn College. Running the paint is Passaturo. She blows the layup. And as we mentioned in the broadcast, that CSI missed 21 open layups. Tim Shanahan having words for official. Let's see who that official was down there. Official Scott Perkins. Over to the right side, pass to Turo. Gallinaro, left wing pass to Carlson. 10 to shoot, holds the ball over ahead. Gives over to Gallinaro, now to Fabazi. Fabazi guarded by Campbell, driving inside, scoop layup, good.
Mickey Fabazi.
Fabazi had 4 in the first half, all via the charity stripe. Here's Frank Camano. She'll push it over to the left wing to Campbell. Left corner to Heyer. Heyer with a couple of dribbles. Goes up top to D'Ambrosi. Looks right. Goes to the left. Heyer for 3. Cash. Chrissy Heyer, who only had 3 points in the first half. She knocks down her first 3. She's shooting 2 of 2 from downtown, 2 of 3 overall. And Chrissy Heyer can shoot it from downtown at 37%. Brooklyn will call a timeout with 17:37 to go. You've been watching CUNYAC semifinal action women's basketball on CUNYAthletics.tv. .16 lead for the Bulldogs, 40-24. On the court for the Brooklyn College Bulldogs, Vanessa D'Ambrosi, Nicole Francomano, Chrissy Heyer, Megan Campbell, and Asia Foster. Victoria Crea, Nikki Fabazi, who holds the ball at the right wing, and she'll hand it off to Carlson. Right wing 3 was tipped, but Gallinaro picks up the loose ball, and she'll lay it in.
Victoria Gallinaro.
Gallinaro with 5 in the first half. She now has 7, and she's got a steal. That'll be the 14th turnover for Brooklyn as they look to run the paint. Left corner, Passaturo trying to drive baseline. She gets blocked from behind from D'Ambrosi, and Brooklyn controls. Throw it over to Heyer. Wide open left wing 3, off the mark to the right, and CSI comes down with it, down 14. Here's Passaturo from the left elbow, slows it down, waits for his teammates, 20 to shoot, and it'll be a kick ball. Heading off the right boot of Vanessa D'Ambrosi. Jacqueline Grasso will check in for Brooklyn.
Jacqueline Grasso, the 15, returns for Brooklyn.
Grasso played 7 minutes in the first half. Passaturo over to Carlson, stop and pop from 5 feet away. That won't go. Grasso into the front court. She's guarded by Crea. Crea switching hands, gives it to Campbell. Campbell looking for Heyer to go right, but instead Heyer goes left and retrieves the ball on the left wing. 10 to shoot. Up top is D'Ambrosi, gets a screen from Foster, jacks up a 3. No, but a foul, and she'll go to the line to shoot 3.
Foul charge number 11.
And the foul is going to go to Alyssa Carlson. That's going to be her second, the team's first of the half. And D'Ambrosi to shoot 3. Vanessa D'Ambrosi, 17 points, 5 rebounds. 5 of 13 from downtown against York on Saturday, and she misses on the first free throw. She had 13 in the first half. 53% free throw shooter. And now she's 1 of 2. One more coming with Nicole Francomano checking in for Chrissy Heyer. Couple of dribbles, rears back and fires, and she'll go 1 of 3 at the charity stripe. CSI inching back very minusculely, but there's Carlson down low, swings it out to Crea. Crea to Passaturo, as Turo tries to feed it down low to Fabazi on the low right block. Driving in is Gallinaro, no, but a foul. And that's going to go to Megan Campbell. That's going to be her third. The team's first, and Megan Campbell, who played in foul trouble in the first half, only managed 6 points, but was barely a presence. First free throw from Gallinaro is off the mark. CSI as a team shoots 63% from the charity stripe. As Campbell will sit. Now Sarima Mann to check in for the Bulldogs. Second free throw, good. CSI applying the full court press. Might get a stop, and they do. Here comes Passaturo. She takes it away, but she can't finish. Collects her own rebound, and it's Crea. Crea up top. 25 to shoot. Here's Crea trying to drive inside. Passaturo, long three. Off to the right. Gallinaro fighting diligently for the offensive rebound. She give it to Fabazi, trying to feed it down low. She threw a shovel pass. Maybe should have bounced it. And that pass was intercepted by Fran Camano. Fran Camano in the front court, going from right to left. She's on the right wing, guarded by Crea. Fran Camano now driving in. Lefty layup, no. Asia Foster, offensive putback, and she lays it in.
Asia Foster.
Foster with 8. And here's Carlson at the top of the key. Carlson moves it over to the right side to Gallinaro, trying to drive in, frees up Crea, but wasn't a good pass, and she had to go and retrieve it. Couldn't set herself to shoot. Here's Passaturo, deep three from the left wing is short. And you could see CSI falling short on a lot of shots. And Tim Shanahan said that one of the biggest things for his team was the fatigue factor. And you have to wonder if that's starting to play in with about 14:51 to go in the second half. And his team just getting boat raced. The catch and shoot to Gallinaro. She misses the pull-up from the free throw line. Bodies go flying. And here comes Fran Camano out of the pack. She's at the free throw line, goes to a low right block to Foster, but she travels, and that's going to be the 15th turnover on Brooklyn. Megan Campbell will go to the scorer's table. Here's Crea. Over to the right wing to Gallinaro. Thought about a three, but she'll bounce it to the free throw line to Carlson. Couple of dribbles on Foster. To the left wing is Passaturo. Passaturo, runner in the right lane, no, but a foul. And that foul is going to go to Asia Foster. That's going to be her first. The team's second. And Passaturo to the line to shoot 2. Passaturo, the CUNY Rookie of the Year this year, had 15 points and 7 rebounds against John Jay, but she misses the first one. Had 5 points in the first half. 58% free throw shooter. And to show how good Passaturo has been this year, she had 16 straight games in double figures. A streak between December 9th and February 13th. But that streak snapped against Lehman. Only had 9 points. She goes 0 of 2 at the charity stripe. Here's Carlson trying to feed it down low to Crea. High pass. Feeds out to Gallinaro for 3 in the corner. Good. Gallinaro now with 11 points. Campbell from the free throw line, 20 to shoot, gives it out to Mack, left side of the paint, thought about pulling up. Alex Lang wanted her to pull up, but they'll reset. Here's Fran Camano on the left wing, guarded by Gallinaro. Fran Camano stops on a dime, and she travels. That'll be turnover number 16 for the Bulldogs. So CSI down 13. They were once down 19. See if they can make it closer. They can't. as Gallinaro misses on a right wing three, but it'll be an offensive rebound. Passaturo banks it in from the left wing. And Tim Shanahan's going to call a timeout with 13:26 to go and his team down 10. CSI inching back right here on CUNYathletics.tv.
For 49 years, the CUNY Athletic Conference has hosted an All-Star Awards luncheon held at the Water Club in Manhattan. Sponsored by Con Edison, the event honors the league's award winners ahead of their community college and four-year college championship basketball tournament.
Being my last year, I haven't won a college championship yet, so this year I think it's going to be the year we're going to try to do it. It's only one team really standing in our way, and they beat us twice already, but it's hard to beat a team 3 times, so hopefully in the championship we'll knock them out.
Melanie, so did you go into today expecting to win Player of the Year? I mean, how about from an individual sense first, what that means to you in terms of your career, what you accomplished this season?
It means a lot. I mean, I worked really hard this year with my team. It really could have gone to anyone, really.
What are some of the things that you think you credit to having as great of a season as you've had this season?
I really tried to get more leadership in my team. I really tried to push them along and just try my best out there.
First of all, I want to thank my fellow coaches. This is a wonderful honor, and thank all of you. I really, really appreciate this. You don't go in thinking about this when any of these people who might have gotten it, they all deserve it. We all know we go through as coaches. It's not just about what you see at games, it's the practices, it's behind the scenes.
CSI once trailed by 19. It's a 10-point game, 43-33, and before the commercial, Christina Passaturo, the Rookie of the Year, banked in a three-pointer from the left wing. Here's Francomano, guarded by Gallinaro. She gets across half court, going from right to left, and she feeds it to Campbell on the right wing. Campbell trying to feed it down low to D'Ambrosi. Pass gets tipped. D'Ambrosi and Gallinaro fighting for it, and Brooklyn wins that battle. Here's Francomano. Up top to Foster. 8 to shoot. Right wing to Mack. Thought about a 3. Gives to Francomano. Sets her feet. Straight away 3 is short. Hits off the rim. Rolls towards the Brooklyn bench, and it's saved by Foster. Fresh 30 for Brooklyn College, and on the left wing is Mack. Mack over to D'Ambrosi, gets a screen from Foster, 14 to shoot. Here's Francomano in the corner. Just give it over to Mack. Mack driving in, her shot gets blocked from behind, and that'll lead to a run out. That pass was just thrown a little too far from Fabazi. She intended receiver was Christina Passaturo, but over to intercept was Francomano. In the corner for 3 is Vanessa D'Ambrosi, who has been able to knock it down from downtown thus far. That's her 4th 3. She's now got 17, and we'll get a whistle the other way. And that foul is going to go to Vanessa D'Ambrosi, so she give it, then she taketh away. That's going to be her 3rd, the team's 3rd. Chrissy Heyer to return for Brooklyn as D'Ambrosi will sit. 12-point lead for Brooklyn. They'll throw it up top to Crea. Crea over to Carlson for 3. Can't stick it. It hits nothing. It'll roll out of bounds, and it'll be Brooklyn ball. It's the 9th turnover for CSI. Brooklyn, for a 12-point lead, has turned the ball over a lot. 17 times, 4 of which coming from Asia Foster, 5 from Nicole Francomano. But for someone that handles the ball a lot like Francomano, you'd have to imagine those numbers would be high. Here's Heyer over to Campbell. Left side of the paint, driving in, gets blocked from Fabazi. The ball hits the end line, last touch by Fabazi, and it'll be Brooklyn ball. Brooklyn, for the entire game, shooting 5 of 9. Victoria Crea will come in for, Megan Meyer will come in for Alyssa Carlson. Here's Chrissy Heyer. Scoop shot. Won't go. Foster goes fighting for it. Lands into the hands of Brooklyn. Like we mentioned, Brooklyn first in the conference in offensive rebounds at 18 a game. This game, they've already got 15. Left side is Mack. Mack holds the ball overhead, gives it to Foster at the left elbow. Back to Mack on the left wing. Over to Campbell. Right elbow pull-up is off the back of the iron. And Crea controls. It's Crea to Passaturo. Passaturo to Meyer. Meyer, left wing. That's Crea driving in, and she gets the southpaw layup. Crea now has 4. It's a 10-point game with 11 minutes to go. Francomano feeds it down low to Campbell. A lot of contact, no foul, as she can't get the layup to roll. And here comes CSI. Meyer racing into the front court. Pull up, her foot was on the line. Sort of forced that shot, hits nothing, and rolls over to the side. We get a collision between Fabazi and Heyer. No call from official. Here's Campbell the other way, and she lays it in.
Megan Campbell.
Campbell now with 8. We'll get a whistle the other way. That's going to go to Karen Mack. That's her 3rd. The team's 4th. And Passaturo to the line. First free throw is good, and they needed that. 58% free throw shooter is Passaturo. Wholesaler changes for Brooklyn. Grosso, Shanderson, D'Ambrosi, and Mann all join Megan Campbell. As Foster, Heyer, Mack, and Francomano will sit. Passaturo's second free throw is good. She goes 2 of 2. Once again, it's a 10-point game. Here's Shanderson in the right corner. She'll slow it down going towards the right wing, and now up top to Grosso. Grosso guarded by Gallinaro. Bounces it over to the right side to Shanderson. Sanderson over the head pass to D'Ambrosi, looking to penetrate from the left wing. Tries to feed it up top. Pass gets tipped by Gallinaro, but the loose ball finds its way into Shanderson's hands. Here's Campbell, right side, good with her foot on the line. So Megan Campbell's able to knock it down. And we're going to get a foul on the floor the other way. Campbell now with 10. The foul's going to go to D'Ambrosi. That's going to be her 4th, and that'll have to force the hand of Alex Lang as Karen Mack will come in. D'Ambrosi's got 2 of the 5 Brooklyn fouls this half. Here's Fabazi on the right wing. Puts up a shot from in front of the arc. No good. And Shanderson controls. Here comes Grosso going from right to left. Grosso towards the left elbow. Gives it over to Campbell. Campbell will slow it down with her team up 12, and she'll go up top to Grosso with 15 to shoot. Grosso moving over towards the right side. Goes over to the left wing to Mack. Pass gets tipped. Rolls through the hands of Fabazi. She tries to save it, but it'll stay with Brooklyn with 8 to shoot. Samantha Flecker will check in for Nikki Fabazi.
Samantha Flecker re-enters the game.
There's Karen Mack with her team having 8 seconds to shoot. That's what's on the shot clock. Here's Shanderson from the left corner. Gives it over to Grosso. 3 to shoot. Pull-up J is short, and we'll get a foul. And that's going to be on Megan Campbell off the push. And that's going to be her 4th. So D'Ambrosi and Campbell, how about this for a recipe for disaster? And you know how bad it's going for CSI thus far. Brooklyn College has 17 turnovers. Their 2 best players both have 4 fouls, and they still hold on to a 12-point lead, partially due to D'Ambrosi going off from downtown. Right side to Flecker, 23 to shoot. And we'll get a whistle down low, and the officiating is getting a lot tighter, as Sarah Shanderson's now going to have 2 fouls. And the fouls are 7 to 1. And here's Meyer with a chance to cut into the lead. And she makes it. Francomano will check back in. Second free throw upcoming. She goes 1 of 2. 11-point game with 9:05 to go in the second half. It's been all Brooklyn. They've led wire to wire. Once had a 20-1 lead. Here's Frank Camano at the top of the key, moving towards the right side, towards the scorer's table. Shovels it over to Mann. Mann to Mack. Mack guarded by Flecker. Up top to Shanderson. Trying to get some separation. Draws the screen as she moves right side of the paint. Goes up for a shot. No, but a foul. And that foul should go to Christina Passaturo. And that's going to be her third, the team's second. That'll bring Sarah Shanderson to the line. Shanderson, the 5'4" senior out of Woodside, went to Christ the King in Middle Village. She'll make the first one. She was held scoreless in the half. Won the CUNY Burt Beagle Sportsmanship Award this year. She misses the second. Foster with the offensive rebound, can't put it back, but Brooklyn will recontrol for just a moment as Megan Meyer picks off the pass. Here's Crea. Crea on the right elbow, up top to Meyer for 3, off the mark to the left. And here comes Brooklyn going from right to left. Fran Camano will settle it down. Here's Frank Camano to Shanderson. Shanderson with 15 to shoot, gives it over to Frank Camano. Couple of dribbles, gives it over to Mack. Mack with a couple of dribbles, driving in, and she gets the tough roll. And it's back to a 14-point lead. First 2 points for Mack. Here's Flecker going in, and she'll lay it up. Flecker now on the board for the Dolphins. Here's Mann all alone down low, and that can't get any easier than that. Brooklyn now with 9 different scorers. And here come the Bulldogs. Frank Camano yo-yoing into the front court. She's on the left wing. Guarded by Gallinaro. She'll push it over to Shanderson. 7:14 to go. Give it over to Mack. Turnaround jumper won't go. Nasarima Mann with the offensive putback. No. Bodies go flying, and we'll get a whistle.
Foul charge number 14.
That's going to go to Victoria Crea. That's her third.
Team's third.
Papazi will come in for CSI. Gabby Elaine will come in for Brooklyn. Mack to throw it in to Hire. Left corner 3, and she sticks it. That's the third 3 for Chrissy Hire. She's now 3 of 4 from beyond the arc, and that'll open up a 17-point lead and the floodgates. As driving inside is Crea. Collects her own miss, can't convert on the second chance shot, and Mack rips down the rebound. Mack will throw it over to Frank Camano as she evades the press. Here's Frank Camano. And Gallinaro bumps her. So for Gallinaro, that's going to be her second. Mack to throw it in. Just give it over to Foster. Foster back to Frank Camano, gets a screen. Here's Foster, and it'll be an offensive foul. Nice charge done by Victoria Crea. Foster's second, the team's 8th. And CSI doing anything they can to try and cut into the deficit. They trailed by as many as 19 early on. Up top is Fabazi, and she's going to get called for steps. That's the 12th turnover for CSI. Mack will feed it to Hire. Hire with 25 to shoot. Just under 6 minutes to go here at CCNY with Brooklyn in a huge lead.
5:56 remaining in regulation time.
And Alex Lang is going to call a timeout with his team up 17 with 5:56 to go. You're watching CUNY semifinal women's basketball action on CUNYathletics.tv. It's been nothing but Bulldogs here from CCNY. Their largest lead was 19. They lead by 17 now. CSI got as close as 10. But then Brooklyn was able to extend the lead. And we got a traveling violation. That'll be the 18th turnover for the Bulldogs. Freya to Carlson, evading the press. Here's Fabazi to Carlson. Carlson thought about stepping into a shot. She'll give it to Crea. She can't connect from straight away, and Crea will save it and track down the rebound. We go over to Fabazi, into the corner to Meyer. With her foot on the line, but she's able to knock it down. Francomano and Gallinaro have been at each other all evening. Here's D'Ambrosi up top to Francomano. Locking eyes with Gallinaro. She bounces it over to Heyer on the right wing. Feeds it to Campbell. Campbell was double for a second. Fall away shot won't go. D'Ambrosi comes down with the offensive rebound, but only 3 seconds to shoot because it didn't hit the rim. And here comes Staten Island the other way. It's Fabazi. Over to Carlson. Pull up Jay. Yes, she gets the shooter's roll. Carlson with 8. Here's Francomano. Over to Campbell. Campbell pumps on a 3. Gives it over to Heyer. Heyer up top to D'Ambrosi. D'Ambrosi skips a pass to the left wing to Heyer. From the left elbow, 7 to shoot. Here's D'Ambrosi for 2, and she knocks it down. D'Ambrosi now with 19. Had a 13-point first half, and Meyer answers back. She scored the last 5 points for CSI, and going with 4:04 left in the second half. CSI with a little bit of a spurt. They're still down 12, but they've got a lot of work to do on CUNYathletics.tv.
If it is an inconvenience and it's gonna take you like 2 hours or something, don't do it.
I do them all the time at St. Francis, so I do them in 15 minutes.
Okay.
I do it right after. Yeah, you can ask my kids. I do them right after that.
You can leave all your stuff, by the way.
All my equipment?
Well, I wouldn't leave your like laptops.
No, I have to take down.
Yeah.
Cameras. You should take too.
Yeah, I wouldn't leave that, but you can leave all the other stuff, the wiring.
Yeah, we'll do that. All right, cool.
You don't have to rewire, reset up.
Yeah.
Plot the cameras in, plot the laptop in, plug. Cool.
Yeah. That's clutch. Thank you.
4:04 to go. As you see Brooklyn break their huddle, it's been nothing but easy street for them thus far. They had a 19-point lead. They now lead by 12, and they're 4 minutes and 4 seconds away from another rematch with Baruch. Last year, they lost to Baruch in the semis. The year before that, got to the title game before losing to, you guessed it, the Bearcats. Up top is Frank Camano. Over to Campbell. Campbell on the right wing. Tries to shake it inside to D'Ambrosi, but it'll roll out of bounds. Passaturo will check back in for the Dolphins. So Gallinaro, Crea, Passaturo, Carlson, and Meyer on the floor for the Dolphins. Here's Passaturo. Skips it over to the left wing to Crea. She can't get the layup to go, and here comes Brooklyn the other way. Here's Frank Camano, spinning around from Gallinaro. Feed it over to Campbell. And we'll get a whistle, and that's going to go to Gallinaro. That's going to be her third, the team's fifth. And Frank Camano to throw it into Campbell, and she'll get it right back. Brooklyn shooting 2 of 4 from downtown in the second half. 9 of 24, that's 37%. Here's Foster, turnaround, and the foul will have occurred on the floor.
Foul charge number 14, Victoria Gray, that's her fourth, team 6.
That's going to be Crea's fourth, and the team's sixth. Hoyer, Campbell, D'Ambrosi, Foster, and Frank Camano on the court for the Bulldogs. Here's Frank Camano, right side of the paint. Tough shot, and she gets the roll. How about that for Nicole Frank Camano? That's her first field goal of the second half. She now has 7. And back the other way is Crea. Both teams just exchanging buckets now. 2:30 to go. Over to the left wing is D'Ambrosi. Finds Campbell down low, and it can't get the roll. Here comes Crea now. Crea trying to slice and dice the defense. Gives it over to Passaturo. 2:20 to go. Time is not on the Dolphins' side. Here's Gallinaro, and they turn it over. That's going to be turnover number 11. As D'Ambrosi gets bumped, and we'll see who they call the foul on. And that's going to go to Gallinaro. And that'll be her fourth team foul, the team's 7th. Well, D'Ambrosi is having a good season after suffering an ACL injury last year. A 5'8" senior out of Bishop Ford, not that far from Brooklyn College. She'll go 2 of 2 at the charity stripe. D'Ambrosi now with 21. Carlson over the head pass to Passaturo, 20 to shoot. Left wing to Crea. Here's Crea looking to spin, trying to feed it inside, but miscommunication between her and Carlson, and it'll be the 12th Staten Island turnover. They'll throw it into Campbell. They'll feed it over to Frank Camano. Frank Camano will track it down, and she'll draw a double team. CSI will need some turnovers here, but it'll free up Campbell. Over to Hoyer. Pumps on a 3, and she'll slow it down. Smart veteran play from the freshman Hoyer, knowing that time is of the essence on her side. She tries to stuff it the other way, but then she turns it over. 20 turnovers now for Brooklyn. Here's Meyer for three, and she knocks it down, and Tim Shanahan's going to call a timeout with 1:27 to go. And his team down 11. And it'll be a full timeout. They'll talk it over, and we'll all talk it over here on CUNYathletics.tv.
Regulation time, full timeout, Staten Island. Time Warner Gateway Mobile Sporting Goods and our primary sponsor, the ROTC. Don't forget to join us tomorrow night as the event comes out beginning at 6 o'clock and then again at 8 o'clock. And free tickets, log on to CUNYathletics.com/tickets and join us Friday night for Championship Friday. The women will tip off at 6, the men is scheduled to tip off at 8:30, and ESPN3 will be on hand to bring you the game live.
That's bad. What did you say? Yes, Ben. So glad you figured it out.
Final 87 seconds here between Brooklyn and CSI. One team hoping to join Baruch in the finals on Friday evening at 6 o'clock. Vanessa D'Ambrosi, Nicole Francomano, Chrissy Heyer, Megan Campbell, and Asia Foster, all the starters for Brooklyn on the floor. And CSI has all its starters in as well, with the exception of Megan Meyer. And Brooklyn will turn it over as Megan Campbell watched the ball slip off her fingertips, and CSI has a little bit of life. Remember, this is a team that lives and dies by the three, and you'd have to imagine they're going to get any open looks that they can, and we'll get a traveling violation. And Tim Shanahan, the head coach of CSI, has to put his hands on his knees and just exhale. It's been that kind of night for Tim. D'Ambrosi will throw it into Campbell. And then Campbell gets pushed by Carlson. That's going to be her third and the team's eighth. And here's Campbell to the line. And if you haven't heard Megan Campbell's story, well, you're about to. The 6'1" senior out of Tobyhanna, Pennsylvania, knocks down the first one. She was a Scholar Athlete of the Month in December. And she played at two schools before coming over to Brooklyn. She had family in Far Rockaway and moved over when her dad was stricken with cancer. Had to help out the family, but still wanted to play basketball. She's worked very diligently ever since that. Wants to be a coach in the future and says she relies a lot on the assistants and head coach Alex Lang for leadership and career advice. She'll knock down both free throws. See if they swap her in for defense and offense, but nonetheless she's sitting at the moment. Carlson puts the shot up with about 60 seconds to go. It's an 11-point lead, and CSI is going to need a miracle. Francomano went to the front court, and Gallinaro gets the foul called, and that's going to be the fifth foul on Gallinaro. And she'll finish with 11 points. And for Gallinaro, the 5'4" junior out of St. John Villa, she'll call it a night, gets a nice hug from Tim Shanahan. Good season for Victoria, but she's going to get the short end of the stick. Francomano to shoot the 1-and-1. Free throws off the mark, and here comes CSI. And Carlson's able to knock down the three, and Tim Shanahan's going to call another timeout. So they'll talk it over. It's an 8-point game with 45.7 seconds to go. And we'll come right back right after this on CUNYathletics.tv.
Logo, downloads, password. Logo, username, downloads, password. Download it all.
Sounds like a commercial. A bad one, but a good one. Good execution.
What? 8 points? Yeah, it is that close, huh?
CSI, like we said, needs the miracle. They're down 8 with 43.9 seconds to go, and they'll foul Megan Campbell, who's an 81% free throw shooter. So not a typical big Campbell that just can't shoot any free throws. She can knock him down.
Campbell will go to the line. Correction, teams 10.
Well, Campbell has pretty much had her way with CSI. January 3rd, 15 points, 16 rebounds. On the 30th of January, 25 points, 16 rebounds. Today, we'll wait for the second free throw to make anything official. She's only got 11 points. But nonetheless, a huge presence on the board, and she's able to rip that down, and we'll get a foul call. And Tim Shanahan will have his team play down to the final whistle. And that foul's going to go to Nikki Fabazi.
Foul charge number 24, Megan Meyer, that's her second. Campbell will go to the line.
So here's Campbell with a couple of dribbles. And she makes the first one. Two of 4 for Campbell at the line. And make it 3 of 5. Karen Mack will come in for Megan Campbell.
Karen Mack returns for the Bulldogs.
CSI is going to have to go the length of the floor. A 5.4 differential between the game and shot clock as Craya picks up the rolling ball, and she'll give it over to Passaturo. Here's Passaturo, floating shot high off the glass, no good. Karen Mack comes down with it. She'll give it over to Heyer. It'll roll out of bounds, and it'll stay with Brooklyn. Shot clock turned off with 21.4 seconds to go.
Megan Campbell re-enters the game for the Bulldogs.
So D'Ambrosi to throw it in. We'll give it over to Campbell, and a foul's going to be called with 20 ticks exactly. So it's looking more and more like a Baruch-Brooklyn matchup on Friday. That'll be game 1 on the women's side. The men's final has yet to be set because the semifinals will occur tomorrow night. Lehman and Brooklyn, that game will also be in conjunction with Baruch and York. Two very good games. Both teams on each side splitting with each other. No sweeps between these two matchups tomorrow night. Should be a pretty good one. Campbell can't get that one. 15 seconds to go. The ball roll out of bounds. It'll stay with CSI. Mack will come in for Campbell. So Lang just swapping in and out. Fabazi looking to throw it in. She turns it over. Frank Camano loses the handle with 11.9 to go, and a Brooklyn chant comes out from the crowd.
Campbell returns for Brooklyn.
Campbell will come in for Mack. CSI will call off the Dogs, and it's been a Brooklyn win wire to wire. They once led by 19, and they'll win this matchup 69-57 setting up a date with Baruch in the finals on Friday at 6 o'clock. You can check it out here at Nat Holman Gymnasium, and you can check out tomorrow's semifinal matchups here from Nat Holman Gymnasium. The final, of course, being broadcasted on ESPN 3. We'll have postgame coming up in just a second here on CUNYathletics.tv.
For 49 years, the CUNY Athletic Conference has hosted an All-Star Awards luncheon held at the Water Club in Manhattan. Sponsored by Con Edison, the event honors the league's award winners ahead of their community college and four-year college championship basketball tournament.
Being my last year, I haven't won a college championship yet, so this year I think it's going to be the year we're going to try to do it. It's only one team really standing in our way, and they beat us twice already, but you know it's hard to beat a team 3 times, so hopefully in the championship we'll knock them out.
Melanie, so did you go into today expecting to win Player of the Year? I mean, how about from an individual sense first, what that means to you in terms of your career, what you accomplished this season?
It means a lot. I mean, I worked really hard this year with my team. It really could have gone to anyone, really.
What are some of the things that you think you credit to having as great of a season as you've had this season?
I really tried to get more leadership in my team. I really tried to push them along and just try my best out there.
First of all, I want to thank my fellow coaches. This is a wonderful honor, and thank all of you. I really, really appreciate this. You don't go in thinking about this when any of these people who might have gotten it, they all deserve it. We all know what we go through as coaches. It's not just about what you see at games, it's the practices, it's behind the scenes. But we all go through, worried about the kids academically, worried about their personal lives and things. But in a nutshell, though, yeah, it's a great, great experience. I'm on cloud 9 right now because I really walked in here today not expecting this. So it's a wonderful thing.
All right, well, the finals are set between Brooklyn and Baruch on Friday at 6 o'clock. I'm here with the head coach, Alex Lang. And Alex, you got a lot of contributions, but you know what? If you look at the stat sheet, it's not going to show it, but Chrissy Heyer was all over the place today. She only stands at 5 foot tall, but she might as well be a 7-footer with all the things that she does.
I mean, she set the tone early, taking a couple charges, getting them in foul trouble, really keeping them out of the paint because of her intensity and tenacity to get in there and take some hits. She also made some plays on the offensive side, which is big. When she's shooting a 3, that helps us out big time.
You guys seem from the get-go to put the pedal to the metal, and CSI is a team that live and dies by the 3. But instead of you guys just holding back, realizing that they're not hitting 3s, you go out to that 19-point stretch. As a coach, how do you keep them composed in those stretches? Because it's very easy to become complacent.
I don't know if I did. I tried to. I told them everything in the book. But it's hard sometimes. I mean, that you see that with all levels of basketball. When a team in the NBA gets up 20 points, a lot of the time that other team wins the game because, you know, there's so much time left in the game and it kind of evens out. You know, CSI is a very good team. Every game we've played with them this year has been tough. So I knew it wasn't going to be 20-point game throughout, but we were good enough to hold that 8-point lead there and, you know, keep it going.
For the last 2 years, you guys have been knocked out by Baruch. You get another shot, maybe 3rd time's a charm or anything like that. This might be one of the best Baruch teams in quite a while. What are you going to tell your team for a 48-hour turnaround?
The focus is on ourselves and trying to play well. Obviously, Baruch's a very good team. Our team doesn't need a lesson in that. We've faced them plenty of times, and they beat us twice this year. So, you know, we're obviously going to have to play up to beat them because they're a very good team. We know what it takes to beat them, I think, because we have beaten them in past years, but we know it's not going to be easy. They're not going to hand it to us. We're going to have to earn it to some degree. So we're going to have to come out here and give it our best shot.
All right, Alex, go out and earn it. Congratulate it with your team. All right, that's Alex Lang. Thank you so much. And that'll do it for night 1 here in the semifinals from Nat Holman Gymnasium. I'm John Perez signing off. Baruch and Brooklyn in the finals, and we'll have semifinal action tomorrow on CUNYathletics.tv.